Hello everybody, welcome to E3 2014. My name is Christopher Thomas Plant. I am joined today by my friend Justin McElroy, and we are here to talk about the crew. Fortunately, we have somebody right next to us who knows about the crew.
God, I thought you were going to ask me, and I was panicking.
It was going to be all you.
I do not know more than most people.
But then I was like, you know what? Julian Garrity is sitting over here. He happens to be the creative director of
the people in the room.
We might as well ask him about the game.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's the right choice.
It could be a good idea.
How are you doing today?
I'm already tired. My voice is already gone, but pretty good.
You're tired just from that intro alone. It was so bad.
I mean, the first day with the conference, and we showed a new trailer, and we talked about a few new things. And that takes a lot of preparation. But today on the booth, we've got playable on 4 or 5 stands, locations. So I'm running between the different locations as well, making sure everything's going right. So it's a lot of sport.
Yeah, I want to talk about that trailer actually a little bit, because I really dug it. For people who haven't seen it, it's kind of a ultra fast motion of cars zipping around all over the United States. And it felt like it really captured what it looks like you're trying to do with the game, which is, this isn't on a racetrack. It's covering a lot of ground. I mean, I don't know if you can speak to this, but I'm curious where that kind of idea came from.
I've got to be honest, okay? The story behind that is very simple, is we're closing the game at the moment. So we don't have time to do anything outside of closing the game. So we made a call about 3 months ago that for E3, we weren't going to do any specific assets. Where we weren't going to do a specific demo, we weren't going to do a CGI trailer or anything. We were just going to take our best asset, which is the game, to E3. And this is actually a mission that we have, that we recorded in an afternoon and then spliced together. It took a long time to get the editing right and to find the right track and the right mood, but it went really quickly compared to other trailers. So, and everything that was done out of the team.
Has it been difficult to express kind of what this game is, because it's not like any racing game?
It's actually a really good question, because internally at Ubisoft, when you come and you say, okay, it's a racing game, and the marketing teams or the PR teams, no offense, we'll say, okay, I know what a racing game is, right trigger, accelerate, left trigger, brake, but it's a little bit more than that. So you really do have to sit people down and say, okay, it's one seamless area that you share with all the other players. So there's one server and everybody plays on that server. Plus, it's an MMORPG, so there are RPG dynamics in it. And we treat cars a little bit differently because they evolve with different classes, just like an RPG. So it has all of these trappings of a normal, let's say, racing game or driving game, but it's a little bit different, a lot different.
If you were to get rid of all the UI, all the missions, all the quests, what would just the world look like? Like, what does the world of the crew look like compared to like the actual world?
In terms of size, in terms of scope, in terms of variety.
It's all the above.
We took inspiration, a lot of inspiration. There's a lot of variety. That's what we worked most on. So it's not about the size. It's one of the biggest games surface-wise ever created, but I think it's more interesting to talk about the variety, because that's where you're going to get the most pleasure and the most variety out of the different gameplay styles and customizations for your car. And it took us a while to define exactly, okay, how are we going to do this technically? And how are we going to do the research and that sort of thing. So our New York feels very, very different from our San Francisco or our Los Angeles. And you see, snow-capped mountains, we've got the bayou, we've got all of these different areas, and each one has a different sort of car customization that'll fit perfectly for it.
Sure. You mentioned that it's one server with everybody on it.
Yeah, per platform.
Per platform, sure. So still, like, ideally for you, thousands, if not millions, of people.
Millions, if possible.
That's what I was going to say. I'm just trying to comprehend it. How do you prevent someone from just being a huge, I believe the word is asshole, and sitting in the middle of this track right now?
We treat it like an MMO. So you have the base world, where you free drive and you can go anywhere, and then the instances, the missions, or the PvP matches. So if you're racing, you're going to be in a in an instance, if you will. There you can choose whether you want the collisions to be on and off, so you don't get that sort of griefing. But in the free drive, well, if somebody wants to bother you, he's going to bother you. You know, you can decide to ignore that guy and fast travel using the map screen, which is the whole of the USA, where you can go anywhere you want, because we unlock that straight at the beginning of the game, because nobody wants to be bothered like unlocking it or paying to unlock it and that sort of thing. So that's completely open from the get-go. So you can avoid griefing people, if you will.
What was the process like of deciding what areas you wanted to include? Like what would be a good fit for the world?
I think it's the path that we took was to focus on what will make an exciting driving environment. So street racing, I loved that sort of concept. I loved the Need for Speed undergrounds on the previous generation. So how old does that make me when I say the last generation? So that sort of thing was obvious, and the cities we chose there were the iconic cities that I'd say the French or the Europeans think of when they think of the States. So it's New York, San Francisco, Miami that we can see here. And 10 other cities where whatever. But it's also, and somebody said this on the team just before I left, 80% of our world is off-road. So, there, you've got mountains, you've got hill tracks, you've got New England, which is gorgeous in a forest sort of area. So lots of different things. Monument Valley, which is desert, that sort of thing.
Say things go really well here. The game comes out day one. Millions of people are playing.
Yes.
You have made the best-selling game of all time.
So it sounds good. So can we have a little pause there?
I'm not going to stop. There's no question. We're just kind of having a great.
I thought that was the end of the interview. I was like, oh wow,
it's going
very
well.
I needed that.
But is it possible that you have created the first traffic simulator? Because in this big open world, I actually kind of like this idea. But say I'm in Manhattan, and
everybody wants to drive.
Everybody wants to drive in Manhattan, naturally.
Okay, so the way we deal with that, and this is something that the team at Ivory Tower worked out a long time ago. I was about to say sussed out. Did you say sussed?
Sure.
Yeah, sussed out a while ago. It's we only ever have 8-player cars at once, which means that a server bubble will be created around your car, and it spawns 7 other player cars around you. But as soon as you move out of that bubble, it'll create another bubble, and other cars will pop in there. So it always feels like fresh and new.
That's neat.
It'll give your friends and your crew a preference. So if you're riding as a crew, just like in the trailer, those 3 other cars plus you will be always on that server bubble. But otherwise, you'll be meeting millions of different people and never having the traffic jam.
So what you're saying is you made the first racing game about multiple dimensional paradoxes.
I don't even know what that means. I'm French, and I don't even understand what it means.
What, can you tell me about the crew experience? What's that? If me and 3 friends or 4 friends, or as Chris said, a billion friends, if me and a few friends all buy the game, what is that crew experience like?
So we have a story in the game, which is basically, I'm going to say it's not Shakespeare. It's fun. The source material. I'm not going to tell you this is going to shock the world. We're going to change. We're going to revolutionize narrative in video games. No, it's a fun story, and if you want to skip the cinematics, you can skip the cinematics.
Somewhere there's a guy. The guy that wrote them is watching. Like,
yeah. Sorry to
okay,
Ian.
I like the Fast and the Furious. There's a story in that, and I enjoy it. It's about family.
Do you know what? Fast and Furious, beat for beat, exactly the same thing as Point Break.
Yeah, it's pretty.
But beat for beat. We studied.
I don't remember the part in Point Break. Wait, Fast and Furious where they put on the president's masks.
Nah, that's detail.
Okay,
but
details.
I'm talking.
Right. Beat for beat. The turns. Oh, but at the very end, he's like, "You gotta let me go," and then he gets on that wave, and then, as I like to call him, Diesel for other people, he drives real fast, and he gets past the train. Man.
Beat for beat. Anyway. The source material is stuff like Point Break, Fast and Furious, and stuff like that. And it's fun. It's popcorn type thing. And getting back to the point, every single mission that we have, you can play either by yourself, if you want to be asocial, or invite 3 friends and do exactly the same thing cooperatively, but cooperatively with that sort of competition thing. One of the examples we saw on the footage there was a takedown. By yourself, super fun. 4 players chasing down that one target, even more fun.
We've been seeing this, I mean, a lot of the Ubisoft teams have been here today, and it seems like cooperative is in everything. And it's a move away from, I guess, what we've come to expect from like traditional multiplayer, where it's like deathmatch, or very straightforward race, and then we go to the next race from a menu. Is that something that's coming down internally, or is that just something in the industry in general? It's like we're realizing people want more of a seamless experience when they're playing.
I think it's one of the things that makes this generation of consoles stand out, is a more connected, seamless experience. I think a living world with real players around you is always going to be more interesting than, you know, whatever the best AI engineer can come up with for the actual simulation in the world. So I think it's a natural evolution, and I think it's really good to have that sort of unpredictable systemic systems working for you and around you. It just makes the whole of the experience that much more dynamic.
Do I have to listen to other people while I'm enjoying this?
Mute is your best friend.
Mute. That's great.
Isn't that a beautiful thing?
I'm in love with it. It's powerful. Cool. I mean, do you have any other questions?
No, I'm ready to make my purchasing decision. I'm ready to buy it.
You're ready?
You sold me.
You are one of the millions.
I'm ready. I'm one of the billions that I'm going to buy day one.
Fantastic. Oh, well, I'm probably that person too. Thank you so much for joining us. It looks awesome. I was excited when I saw it last year, and now I'm seeing more of it.
I'm excited to get it out of the door.
It will be.
It's time to go.
It is time to go. Thank you for joining us. We are here all week. Visit us on Polygon.com, or you can find us on YouTube.com/Polygon. Until next time, we will see you later.
Bye, guys.